A lot of people ask me, so why do you film so many videos in exotic locations? Why don't you just sit in a studio and make a bunch of videos in one go? I feel like I owe you the answer because I've been posting a lot of videos from various places from all over the world, and I know that you are curious. Why do I actually do it? Is it necessary? So the reason I do it, and this is a simple answer to this question, is because I do enjoy doing it. I love traveling. Traveling is one of my biggest passions. I love having a sense of adventure, and I just absolutely love nature. So when I film videos for my audience, I want to give you a feeling of that, okay? I feel like this is a part of who I am. This is a part of my personality. Ever since I remember, I wanted to travel the world. Even when I was a teenager, even actually earlier than that, when I was a little kid, I always wanted to travel the world. When I was a little kiddo, I would run away from my parents, you know? They told me stories that we would go outside of the building and they would just look away for 20 seconds and I would be running already to the other side of the street. I always had this feeling of, wanting to explore, wanting to go out there. And then as I grew up, I started materializing some of those aspirations. I went to the UK to study. I started doing my budget trips abroad. Even while I was at university, I would book cheap flights and go to all types of places all over Europe on the weekends. And I would pay 20, 30 euros for a flight, sleep on beaches, sleep in cheap hostels, sometimes meet random people and sleep in their flats. So I did a lot of that. And then eventually I dove into entrepreneurship. And because I built location-independent business, I managed to travel over the last 8 years full time, like literally from A to B to C to D without stopping. So this is a huge part of my life, massive part of my life. And I feel like it is important to show your personality in content you produce. If I just sat down in a regular studio, would have been much easier, would have been way cheaper, way cheaper. But at the same time, I wouldn't be fully proud of those videos and I wouldn't really feel like they convey truly who I am and that personality that I also want to show you. Now, this is of course not the most important thing about making educational videos, but I feel like it is an important element. And if I can implement it, then why not? Now, one of the biggest misconceptions is that filming videos like this one in nature is easy, right? A lot of people say, oh wow, it must be so much easier to do it in nature than in a studio because you have all the inspiration and it's so beautiful. But the reality, and I'm just gonna give you the real talk here. In reality, it's way harder to do it in nature because if I get into a studio, I just sit down, we set everything up. Once we have a setup, I can keep rolling for hours and hours. I can do little breaks. We have all the setup. We need to charge something, can charge it without any issues. There are no mosquitoes. There is no wind. There are no distractions. You can just focus on that little lens and talk to your audience. When you come to a place like this one, there is wind. There are crashing waves, right? So we need to adjust the mic. There are kids screaming in the background, right? There are all types of situations. Sometimes the battery dies. Sometimes, in the evening, the light dies out of nowhere. Sometimes you're filming and there are a bunch of mosquitoes that come. It takes a lot of time to find the right spot. It's often very hot. Like for example, now you can't see it, but I'm sweating like crazy. Every video, I need to wipe my face because the sun is burning me. So, and of course, it's nice to be in this place, but I can't actually see that place because I'm talking to the camera. So what I'm saying is that even though I do enjoy showcasing those places and bringing my audience on this adventure, I love to, give my audience that glimpse of adventure. That's why I use B-roll shots. That's why we do drone shots from time to time, because I want you to feel like you're part of it. It is hard work. It is hard work. It's much harder than doing it in a studio, but I just feel like this is something that I've been doing for many years now to, in a sense, also distinguish myself. You see, when I started 8 years ago, I was one out of very few people. Actually, that time I didn't see anybody else who would be filming educational videos in spots like this one, right? Everyone was using studios or basically using their webcams on their laptops. But I was one of those crazy people who would literally fly to Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, and many other places, and then sweat in front of the camera just to have nice shots in exotic locations. And I noticed that my audience, I would say the vast majority of my audience, appreciates it. And because I've been getting really positive feedback, I figured, hey, you know, why not? I'll just keep going like this, and whenever I have an opportunity, I will keep doing this. So anyway, this is just a spontaneous video in between the shots, since a lot of you have been asking me. A lot of you have been asking, hey, like, why do you film in Canary Islands? Why do you go to Vietnam? Why do you go to Cambodia? Why do you do this? What is the purpose? Well, this is my explanation. Hope this clarifies a lot of things. And hey, if you have any other questions for me, do let me know. I want to do more and more of those Q&As for you because I want to connect more with my audience. You know, in the past, I was primarily focused on just building courses, but nowadays, I really do my best to incorporate my students and my audience as much as possible. So whenever certain question keeps repeating itself, whether it's on social media or in one of my courses, I really take it seriously. And if I see one question popping up over and over again, guess what? I will try to make a video to answer that question. So thank you so much for watching. It's Jimmy in the Rain once again. Have an amazing day. I'm gonna catch you soon.